Welcome to the MBX Films Theater, now showing Star Wars The Force Awakens, because I'm going to open up this Force Awakens Millennium Falcon here. Had this for a while. I've already opened the figures to check them out. Comes with a Finn, a BB-8, and Chewbacca. So check those out, but now we'll just get the Millennium Falcon out and see what the deal is with this. See how it stacks up and see why you would want it in your collection. So let's check it out. Oh my gosh, it's too small! Oh guys, I mean, you're gonna tell me it's too small. You wanted a giant Force Awakens specific Millennium Falcon. Did you really? You want that? You want a giant full-size Millennium Falcon for the Force Awakens in your collection? You sure? I think for the Force Awakens representation, I appreciate the reduced size of this because I don't need the jumbo super Millennium Falcon. Wouldn't have bought it because it would have cost too much. And it's only Force Awakens as far as the figures it comes with and the look and functions and things. So for my Force Awakens collection, I appreciate that this is a smaller, cheaper option with a couple cool functions, you know, regardless. Especially if you were just a kid playing with it, this would be very fun. I would have absolutely loved it as a kid. But to represent it in my Force Awakens collection, it's just the right size. Because I don't need a giant Falcon for that movie. I mean, I liked it. It wasn't a central location like in A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. It wasn't really a location so much in Return of the Jedi at all. But for the movie, I don't need a ton of the interior. So we'll just check this out here and kind of weigh it in that regard of this is just for The Force Awakens. So is it adequate to represent that? So we'll judge it off of that. So we got the Finn figure, nothing too special because it's very specific with the gear that he's piloting. Well, not piloting, I guess he was wearing this to be the gunner on the Falcon. No Rey figure to come with it to pilot it. It's a little strange, but I guess maybe that was kind of the marketing hiding it. You could always buy a Rey figure and plop her in the pilot's chair there while he was in the gunner spot because there's a gunner spot we can put him in. That's where I would probably be putting him. And since it's just a basic 5 points figure, I mean, if he's going to be stuffed in a vehicle, then that's just fine. He can just be the gunner in the Force Awakens Falcon, just like this, because you don't really need to super articulate him if he's stuck inside the vehicle. And then he comes with a terrible version of his gun that he never used in the movie, so we don't need this. Here's Chewbacca with some gear specific for piloting the Falcon. He does still have a bow weapon. He just wanted to play around, but he doesn't really need that to be piloting. So again, that's just a 5 points, but it's got the gear specific, so he's meant to just be sitting in the Falcon somewhere, you know, as a co-pilot or pilot, depending, since this would work for The Last Jedi also, where I believe Chewie was flying and Rey was in the gunner seat, so you have that covered. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of color variation or anything special in him other than the gear piece, if you were a stickler for him wearing his little piece while he's piloting. And it comes with a nice BB-8 that actually has just kind of a little more dirt and wear on it than some of the other releases of The Force Awakens, so it's actually kind of the best BB-8. He's pretty weighty, really feels pretty heavy in the hand. Obviously, he doesn't do a whole lot, but throwing in a BB-8, pretty nice, especially a really nice one. So this is actually the main BB-8 I display in my Force Awakens lineup. So good piece. And the Falcon itself. Of course, here's where the super nerds will weep. I weep a little bit because this is incredibly cramped, I will say. If they would have just gave it maybe a tiny bit more space, because getting two figures in, especially the two that it came with, kind of already see he's taking up quite a bit of space. Now imagine putting the Chewbacca there. Let's see. Okay. Move over. Oh man, you get Wookiee Bot right in your face while he's trying to get in here. This does... Oh, well, I mean, this goes up, so you can kind of get him in there a little easier. There's a hinge there. So you can put them in how you're going to want them, and then put that down on them so that they can... I mean, that's easier. Alright, well then, see, you ain't crazy. And then, you know, to play with it, you know, you could open it up so there's space in there. You're not going to stand around. You have to do quite a bit of imagination to imagine them standing in the cockpit discussing where they're going to go. Hey, where are we going to... So that's it for the cockpit. Of course, it's got the radar dish, that's new. I thought that was a cool nod, that just kind of acknowledging that in Return of the Jedi that did get knocked off the Millennium Falcon, and so they had to get a replacement piece. You know, it makes sense. It rhymes and stuff, right? All right. Ooh! Sweet mother of it all, a giant railgun. This is the controversial piece of this Millennium Falcon. And I believe there's a spot for some more darts. Looks like they fell down in here or something. Does this open up too? These are your dart holder spots. I don't know where the darts went. I see one in here. Maybe it only came with two. I don't know. Yeah, I think it just came with two. Come here, dart. It probably came with more, but I appreciate that it's the color the lasers would be. I mean, that's something. It just has these little doors that can hold the darts, and if you're going to use the Nerf dart feature, play around, which I would as a kid because it actually shoots, so I mean, how does it shoot? Oh, good. I'm going to shoot my eye out with this thing. Okay, well, we are going to figure that out later. This piece that comes off. So once this is opened up, as far as I can tell, this piece just kind of sits wherever you want, just to kind of imagination-wise expand the space. There's just some steps and a couple places to put this extra gun piece. You can kind of play that any of these spots of, you know, whatever's going on here. I don't know how you explain that they're shooting at the back of the Millennium Falcon in this way, but whatever. And this is just, you know, doesn't really do anything, just looks like a gun. You would just be imagining, you know, pew 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 pew, whatever your preferred imaginary laser sound effect is what you would use. So that's a cool piece. Just get that out of the way. So then you're left with this small interior here, the bed. This would be the doorway, and you can see that it's just a little bit small, but it has a little peg for BB-8, like that's his hangout or something. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I would get that in. Doesn't seem particularly easy to do. You got the old table. I didn't put the stickers on because I really kind of hate the sticker thing. Where are those at? I don't like to put on these stickers because just with time, they kind of peel and fade whether I'm playing with it or not. So if I just save the stickers, maybe at a later time if I'm, you know, passing this down to some lucky kid, then I can say, here's the stickers, put them on, you got a fresh Millennium Falcon look. And because I don't know, for the most part, I'll be displaying this, you know, closed. You won't even see this area or anywhere that the stickers really go. So not much of a point for that. So. This gun station pops up. I think there's a mechanism we can activate when I power it up with for the sounds and things, but for now it's just, I mean, there's kind of, you know, some space there if you're playing around, I don't know. But then this opens up and you can have a guy down in here. He's kind of in the pretend gunner spot, like in, you know, A New Hope and things, where they're like, don't get cocky, pew, 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 you know, and I'll power this up and we'll check that out and stuff. Just kind of basically going over everything real quick, which I think that's about it. Take these fellers out of here, and whatever's going on here. Let's see, how do you power this puppy dog up? I forgot some. Holy, oh well, that's the button on the cockpit side. Kabang! We gotta check the manual here. There's a bump. Yeah, something about that. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. The battery spot, and somewhere here, there's an on and off switch. Oh, it's on now. Calm down there. So, with the power on, holy smokes. Button on the side here is shooting that. It's a pretty good laser sound effect. My God, it sounds like he's gonna destroy a planet with that shot. I don't know what I've done to... Oh, you probably gotta do something. I don't know how Nerf works, man. Oh, good God. Yep, that was it. Okay. You tuck her in there. Haha, there's even a sound for it to go down. Alright, hold on to your butts. I'm gonna shoot you. Say hello to my little friend. Sweet mother of it all, it's dangerous. Shoots out like an absolute rocket. That would knock down some Stormtrooper action figures, I can tell you that. So. Fun. Okay, what else we got? This side button. This thing will pop up. Sweet. We got the lights there. And I thought... Oh, that's a light there, isn't it? That's something. I was pretty sure this moved. But maybe I'm forgetful? This extra button is just another laser. So, try it from this side. Right. Hold on, hold on. Of course, we got the hyperdrive kind of thing here, that it's red and then roll it to green for go. The hyperdrive might actually work on the Millennium Falcon for a change. I don't know, probably not. Yeah, that sounds more like what is usually going on. And then so there's a trigger on the bottom here that's being pressed to tell it that it is landed, and so when we lift it up it will trigger the takeoff kind of sound. So it's in the air, and then you can kind of whoosh it. And then of course give it a landing. And that's just using this trigger on the bottom here. This is telling it it's landed, and then out it's taking off. So pretty simple, but it's good for hours of fun. So that's about all the features I can show, and again, they're all just for fun. And isn't that what it's all about? Have you forgotten why you collect toys? For the fun? You got a smuggler ship with the little secret compartment, the gun, the bedroom. Oh, that's the medical bay, excuse me. But it can be whatever your imagination wants it to be, because it is a toy, it is for fun. And for me, it will represent the Millennium Falcon for the Force Awakens. You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon? You should have. The figures that come with it aren't particularly special. You can get the Vintage Collection Chewbacca for a good price. You can get the Vintage Collection or the Walmart exclusive 3.75-inch Black Series Finn for about free some places. Still, the BB-8's good, but the important thing was I just kind of scoped this out, made sure I got it for some kind of deal, some kind of low price, and I like it just for that it isn't humongous, and I can actually find a space to display it, and it is Force Awakens kind of specific, and in that respect, Last Jedi specific until Rise of Skywalker, when they were like, oh god, we need more things to look like the original trilogy, and they changed it to the round radar dish again. But to represent those, I don't think you would even want a giant one unless you were absolutely in love with it, and even then you could just maybe get this radar dish and slap it on the old style Millennium Falcon that was, released a while ago that was super big if you were an absolute nut for Force Awakens or just the sequel trilogy. So for me, for my collection, this is pretty good for just covering the sequel trilogy Millennium Falcon. I'm quite okay with it. It didn't break the bank. It's got cool features that I could play around with, and a kid would freaking love it. Me as a kid would love it. I would shoot the dart at stormtroopers and stuff. I would use the takeoff and the flight things. Obviously, they wouldn't even have that technology probably when I was a kid, even though it's fairly simple with the motion and stuff. But the pop-up gun, it's just all pretty nice. So don't really have a lot of complaints other than I hate sticker apps on stuff, but that's just kind of a usual toy thing, so can't really complain. That's just my take on it. It's a nice looking Falcon, so and it's adequate for the movies it represents. So what else could you really want?